In this video, I'm going to be giving you some important updates regarding stimulus checks, including what's happening to these $2,000 a month stimulus check proposals that you saw out there, and then also with this new bill, the $1,200 stimulus check, is that likely to be passed? Hi, I'm Erika. I'm a lawyer, and right now I'm doing daily stimulus check and stimulus package updates. So if you want to stay up to date on the latest news, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Diving right in, let's first talk about what's happening to those $2,000 per month recurring stimulus check proposals that were out there. These are the three that I talked about on this channel, with the Emergency Money for the People Act being the most heavily covered in the media. What many people expected, or at least were hoping for, was that this new bill that was released by House Democrats on Tuesday would actually include one of these proposals or something very similar, where it would be more than just a one-time payment, and then perhaps not just $1,200, but actually those $2,000. You can watch this video where I summarize the key points about this new $1,200 stimulus check proposal, but the basics are it's very similar to the CARES Act, that original $1,200, with just a few key distinctions that I talk about in this video, but it is a one-time payment. This is just my personal opinion, but now that the House Democrats have unveiled this new bill where they included the $1,200 one-time payments, I find it very unlikely that any of these three proposals with the recurring $2,000 payments are going to realistically be passed in the near future. Of course, that's not to say it's off the table completely, but I just think there's a very low probability in the near future, and of course, I don't want to get your hopes up, so I just wanted to be upfront about this. Next, let's talk about, will this new bill that would give this additional $1,200 one-time payment actually be passed? The bill is expected to be passed in the House on Friday, but of course, if you look at the 5 steps for a bill to become a law, it would still need to get passed by the Senate and then also by the President before it's signed into law. While the House is controlled by Democrats, the Senate is controlled by Republicans, and the general Republican sentiment is that this bill is dead on arrival in the Senate. Yesterday, the president even said that this $3 trillion bill is dead on arrival. There are, of course, some exceptions. Republican Congressman Pete King said that he actually is going to vote in favor of this bill because he said, "To me, it's a matter of survival, and I know many people are concerned about the primaries or what party leadership is going to say, but the reality is you're elected to Congress to represent your district." He's probably just an exception though, and just the general Republican sentiment is that this bill is dead on arrival. Going back to what this means for stimulus checks, it's not that it means that these stimulus checks aren't going to happen, but what this all means is that this 1,815-page bill that was released is probably going to be heavily negotiated, and by the time it's at a place where both parties are willing to agree on it, it's going to look very different from what it actually looks like now. My personal opinion is that there is still going to be this second round of stimulus checks, but it's inevitably going to be delayed because, again, I think it's going to take a lot of negotiations to get this 1,800-page bill to a place where Republicans would be willing to agree to it. On a more exciting note, if you watched this video, I talked about how a Forbes article gave completely inaccurate information about the ABC Act. I showed you just how wrong and inaccurate the article was and told you that I emailed the writer, and some of you have asked me for an update, so here it is. The Forbes writer admitted to me in an email that he did not read the bill before writing an article about the bill, and sure enough, after I sent the email, a correction on the Forbes website was issued. You can see this comparison between the old version of the article and the new version of the article after I released the video. And the red on the old article means that it was deleted, and green on the new article means that it was just completely new and added. So that basically shows you that the Forbes writer rewrote the entire article, which shows you just how wrong the article was. After I released the video, I actually noticed that The Hill released an article where they had slightly inaccurate information about the ABC Act, so I emailed the writers, and within an hour they responded to me and said, "Thank you for pointing this out, we're going to correct it," and it was just such a professional experience and speaks to their integrity. On the other hand, contacting Forbes was a completely different experience, and the writer was rude and dismissive of me and accused me of doing it for the views, so it was really uncomfortable. And obviously I wasn't in the wrong because Forbes ended up rewriting the entire article, so that just shows you that there was so much misinformation in that article. But ultimately, I'm glad I did it because, like I told you, I care about the truth, and I think it's an absolute shame that 8 million people who read that Forbes article were misled and given inaccurate information just because the Forbes writer couldn't take the extra 2 hours to actually read the bill. So that's just a friendly reminder to be cautious about the information you're consuming. And if I'm doing a good job, if you're proud of me for going up against Forbes like that and getting them to rewrite the whole article, then honestly just the best thing would be a thumbs up and a comment on this video. I am always going to take the extra time to read the bills for you, do the proper research, because there's just too much misinformation out there and it can spread quickly. And I just feel like it's my responsibility, I owe it to you to spend that extra time researching and get you accurate information because you're putting your trust in me by watching me on this YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for daily stimulus check and stimulus package updates. And if you want one free stock on Webull valued at up to $1,400, then click on my link below and deposit $100 and you'll get that free stock. If you want to learn a little more about me, you can watch this video here where I talk about why I took a 99% pay cut to pursue my dream job, and I will see you tomorrow.